guys, it's 21 Maxwell here and welcome to episode 2 of the Parfect journey, our journey to the SPL, the top of Scottish football with Dunfermline. Now, a few things have happened since the initial episode. I have managed to play pre-season. I played the Challenge Cup first round just to get the team accustomed to the system and stuff like that. And today we've got the Scottish League Cup where we take on Brechin. We took on Arbroath in the Challenge Cup, winning 1-0, which has given us a date against Alloa from the league above us at home. So it's a tie that's winnable, and hopefully we can do okay. But we'll cover pre-season, we'll cover the Arbroath game, and of course we'll cover now our ins and outs. Now, Ryan Williamson, as I said in the last video, was very highly rated. Probably is really good for a player of this level, only 19, but we decided to cash in 50k. It doesn't sound a lot, but I thought to myself, try and keep it like a kind of realistic instead of going for like big values and try to players not really going. Let's do what kind of clubs this size would be doing, which is selling them for 50k and a 30% sell-on clause. So hopefully Rangers, it turns out a good player there, they sell him on for a decent fee so we can get some money back in the future. And the same with Lewis Martin, again a good prospect. I felt possibly could have kept him on, could have turned him into somebody decent, but same again, 60k with a 30% sell-on. Not even a percentage, it's literally the sell on, so if we go for like 100k, we get 30k, etc, etc. So sell them for a couple million, Rangers and Hibs, and we will be delighted. But with every out, of course there is ins. We did not get the striker I was targeting in the last video, which was Ryan Hardley. Unfortunately he turned the loan spell down. But we have raided the old firm for Ross Lyon from Rangers to play on the right hand side or possibly play in the middle. Good potential, I mean technically he's okay. Physically, definitely room to improve, but I mean, there's a couple of mentals. Good work rate is one thing I'd like to see at this level, and I feel like if we can bring him on, he could be a player if Rangers release him that we could sign permanently. Joe Thompson, I've always seen turn into a good player, good nippy winger. Again, just helping him develop. He'll turn into a good player at this level. Someday again, we can maybe target when we got the leagues. The guy we know who turns out absolutely fantastic in this game, Calvin Miller. Once the Ryan Hardy deal didn't happen, it was pretty much a no-brainer to bring Calvin in to offer us some extra firepower. We couldn't get an extra transfer budget, but we got extra wage budget, which allowed me to go out and fork 110k on divisional rival Lewis Milne. 110k is a lot of money, especially in the third tier, paying for a third tier player, but this guy definitely has the potential to get to the top flight and definitely has the potential to be a good sellable asset. So with that in mind, I thought if we pay 110k, he could be somebody we sell on for maybe 500k, 700k, and he should be able to take us all the way from League 1 up to Premier League. And finally, Jamie Payne came in. I think he's pretty poor physically, but good technicals, good mentals for this level, and a cheap buy to replace Ryan Williamson for a fraction of the price. So I thought that made perfect sense, and he's in team as well. But it's not just players we've been recruiting. Our coaching setup wasn't the greatest. We now have it as the best in League 1. And one of the best scouting systems as well. Unfortunately, we have a terrible physio, so let's go place a advert for a physio. But we've done well. We've brought in a couple of guys that I've been quite happy with. As you can see here, the guys have been Alex Connon, we've brought in from East Fife as our goalkeeping coach. 12, we literally had no goalkeeping coach. We literally had me, my assistant, Sandy Clark, and John Potter. That's literally all we had. So he was good to come in. Chick Charnley comes in, cult figure, hero guy if you would, for like Hibs and various other clubs. Again, does the job, can cover a couple of bases. We'll do this until we get to a higher division and can attract a better coach. And Neil Cooper, former Aberdeen, Hibernian, St Mirren, does the job, covers a couple of bases. You're not going to get a world-class coach down in the third tier of Scottish football. So, our results then. Now, pre-season I'd done none of them. So we beat the other 20s 2-0. A draw away at Queen's Park before wins against Field. I think that's how it's pronounced, or Flyde. St Mirren, Fulham, and obviously a defeat to Tottenham. But I mean, it's a full strength Tottenham side, and Jai Sisto has signed and scored for them. This young 16-year-old Marcus Edwards scored as well. Against Arbroath, it wasn't the greatest performance in the world, but we managed to score in the second half thanks to El Bakhtoui with the first goal of the season. We try to play direct. Maybe that's not the best way to play in this kind of league, but we'll keep trying it. If it doesn't work, we'll maybe try a more possession-based tactic, because we've got Millen and McCabe in the middle. It's two playmakers. Don't really have a ball winner, so that could be a problem in midfield. But nobody up front really shone, apart from back to hopefully, they get another chance here against Brecon, and hopefully we do the job. I think it's pretty much going to be a similar team that will play. Actually, a couple of fatigue players, but this is one I really need to win because it is the actual League Cup, and that's the one where you get a chance at better teams, bigger teams, and a bit more money. So I'm going to keep the exact same team, and these guys can get a rest maybe for the first game of the season. So, team is lining up in goal: David Hutton. Our back four is going to be Jamie Bain, Brad Mackay, Callum Fordyce, and Jason Talbot. Our midfield is going to be Joe Thompson on the right, Rhys McCabe beside Lewis Milne, and Joe Cardle on the left hand side, and it's going to be Calvin Miller playing off of Facile back to a substitutes are going to be Sean Murdoch, Andy Geoghegan, Ben Richards Everton, Josh Falkingham, Ross Lyon, David Hopkirk, and Michael Moffat. We'll hopefully try and get it decided at one point. The likes of Anton Courier, Peyton Wallace, Brian and Rooney, the likes of John Potter is literally just here as coach. So as I say, this is a team that is going to be in our league. We do have them in the first game of the season as well, but we're at home with them. I expect to get a good result. I'm actually going to see their team before I identify players I've heard of. Yeah, you tend in these leagues, it's either going to be a lot of players that I'm unfamiliar with, or it's going to be folk that have came down from the Premier League in Scotland. Like I know Willie Dyer played for, I would say Dundee. Yep, Dundee, and he's just come down here. He played 2-1 games in the Premier League, so he's not terrible. Stat-wise, he's actually really good. I mean, I would happily take him with Dunfermline. I think that's somebody we maybe could look at down the line. Could certainly cut a job in the Championship, without a doubt. Ross Perry, former Rangers defender. Again, not amazing, but he played for Rangers. He came through their academy. That the Graham Smith, former Motherwell goalkeeper. This guy, believe it or not, has European experience with Motherwell. He's also been in Scotland squads, never been capped for the main squad, but still absolutely incredible that somebody like this is down in this league. But that's the way some people's careers go. Darren McCormack is at the ex-Hibs. Yep, so here it was a promising career. It's never really took off, but again, another familiar face there. I think Craig Malloy played for St Mirren as well. So again, they've got a lot of experience here. And Andy Jackson was I wouldn't say he's a wonder kid, but he was a star buy from St Johnson back a good couple of FMs ago. It may even have been around about 07, 08. He was a guy to always sign. And Robert Thompson, not too familiar with Dundee United. So there you go, another guy that's got that SPL experience. And is that Darren Dodds, as in the Darren Dodds? He's a manager, he's 40-year-old, and I remember him playing against Motherwell way back, even in his Hibs days. That was a long time ago. I remember Hibs, I remember St Johnson, Inverness, and then of course Dundee United. He had a good career, to be fair to him. But less us worrying about them and saying how good they are. It's time for our players to show they're the future. Great that nobody really feels like they can offer tactical advice. Cheers, boys. Appreciate it. I did set it on to Sandy Clark to do my instructions, but hopefully we can get some coaches to sort it out in the future. So I'm hoping for a good result here. We'll go direct, but as I say, if it comes to worse, we may look to play a more passing system. It'll be interesting because we're technically better, and it'll be interesting to see how the direct football works. It's not like it's route one, we're trying to get the ball out wide, we're trying to get it to the wingers and allowing them to run. But here's a ball out to Thompson, plays it in, and it's Facile back to again at the back post. Great ball there, great spot initially from, I believe that is Lewis Milne. We'll see this in the replay. Milne with the free kick, horrible defending from them. He picks out Thompson on the right, and he just gets in a perfect ball. It's just a simple tap in, and back to gets his second goal of the season. So a good start there. I'm going to say this one is more important to get through because the chances are in the second round we could draw ourselves against an SPL club, and with that brings in, it could bring in Rangers as well. It could bring in some other teams. Most importantly, hopefully, a bit of money. At half time, 1-0, not a great spectacle, but we're grinding out results, we're getting used to the players in our system, and hopefully we can, improve. That's it. If we can get up to speed before we get the bigger teams, then that's more important. Consistency is going to be a big factor as well. We're going to bring in Hopkirk to play on the left hand side. If it's a bit too attacking, we'll soon find out. obviously we can always make changes in the second half. It's really hard to tell, you know, you don't want to get into too many games like over complacent, but I honestly feel like we should be dominating every team in this division. I think Ayers are the one that should give us any sort of threat, maybe Peterhead to an extent, but realistically we should be already cruising this league when it starts and building to be a solid championship side, because I aim to go back-to-back promotions. Anything else will be unacceptable. We use Miller, good tackle from Malloy, it's out, and it's going to be Jamie Bain. What can he do? Into McCabe, out to Millen. Now here's L back two. He's got options. He's going to go himself, and he just decides to do it all by himself with an absolutely fantastic finish. His third goal of the season and his second goal of the game. He's hopefully somebody that we can keep playing. Hopefully he can get better and better, and he could be one of the guys we sell on for profit in the future. But a good finish there, and that gives us a nice wee 2-0 cushion. And as I say as well, like if we keep doing well and we keep getting through these rounds in the cup, the stands are going to fill up, and we've got an 11,000 seater stadium, so that's going to make more money going forward. The other good thing as well is, you know, I just feel like we should be able to just dominate. I think like the board have given me reasonable expectations. You know, it isn't like, oh, we expect you to overachieve. You know, they expect me to get to the second round of the cup, which I'm pretty sure we'll do. We'll pretty much won this game, I'd say, in the fourth round of the Scottish. Depending on who we get in the Scottish Cup, it's definitely doable. And the Challenge Cup, they've just said is we don't really care. But you know, I want to win trophies. You know, I mean, if we get a good run in the Challenge Cup, there's a good chance we get Rangers, and I'd love to test my team against Rangers to just see like what level we're actually at. Although there's a late consolation there, Robert Thompson with the goal. We decide to switch off. We'll just go counter. It's Perry playing it through to Shields, and he just makes the run off the defender. Nobody really gets close to him, but to be fair, it's right in the corner, giving the keeper no chance. As you can see, because we're in League 2 where we are, League 1, sorry, there's literally no one in the seats behind the goal. But before we carry on, I'm just going to say to the boys, just concentrate, don't give up. You can definitely see the lack of a fitness coach to start with is the reason why some of our players are really unfit. But hopefully we can sort that out once the fitness coach gets in his groove. He's Falkingham. It's a Michael Moffat. And he's got options. He puts it to Elback Tui, who's on a hat trick. Moffat, Elback Tui. And it's a good save from Graham Smith. Buzz and goals there. Always was a really good shot stopper. It really was just everything else, like catching crosses, and at times his distribution was pretty poor as well. But overall, he was a pretty solid goalkeeper. Left Motherwell about 8 years ago to go down south to Brighton. Ball in, Smith, and it's all over. Not an absolutely fantastic victory, it does the job. We're through. Performances still can get a bit better. Again, man of the match, Lewis Millen, followed by probably Brad Mackay and Elback Tui. But it gives us a draw into the second round. We will be unseeded again, so the chances are we'll probably play against an Old Firm side or against one of the top flight clubs. So I'm just going to carry on and see if I can get myself a coach. But that's going to be it for this episode, guys. The next episode will probably be that second round tie. Then after that we'll start, doing videos over like league games and stuff like that. As always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up. If you get any comments on the series, let me know on the comments section below. And of course, is there any players you would recommend I could sign? Well, tons a lot of Scottish FM players follow me. How are you enjoying the SPL this year in FM? We know the standards are not great in real life, but in FM it's pretty decent. What's your say been in the SPL, and what kind of players have you attracted to the club? Or if you're managing abroad, what SPL players have you signed, and how much did they cost you? Apart from that, guys, thank you for watching. Your support is deeply appreciated as always. Remember, #, we are the community. Bye bye, guys.